and co-host of Heated Shenanigans, James Altrad, prepare to have your ears tortured. This is From the Front Row with Johnathan T. Rokford!
No. Come on. You saw that coming. I know. I mean, come on. If you thought they were going to hang around with all that shit, well, Flip, you would have lost a lot of money on that one there. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is, Flip. It is what it is. What's up, folks? It's me, Johnathan T. Rokford, here with another edition of From the Front Row Sacrifice Week. And boy, was we willing to sacrifice a lot for a week. And folks, speaking of sacrifice, normally I would just wait till I get to the match to talk about this. But holy shit. We finally found out who El Gordo Enmascarado was after he attacked world champ Jermaine Walker following his match. Come to find out, the whole time, it wasn't Agatha. It was James Altrad the whole time. Which, wait, that means when El Gordo faced Sean Puff, he was really facing James Altrad. Which means he beat him. The real question, folks, and I don't see anybody asking this question, is where the fuck was Sinister while Jermaine was getting attacked? Well, I know where Johnny Rocco was. Melvin told me he was at the snack bar getting some stuff, getting some more popcorn. But where was Darkstalker? Where was the Beast? We'll get to what Shona was. Crazy. Sometimes it be your own folk. Can't count on them. But anyway, folks. Game Changer champion Fat Thomas was able to survive the sponsored athlete Jayla Masters and retain his Game Changer championship. Now, am I surprised? A little bit. A little bit. Just a little bit. Now, folks, the reason why we talk about El Gordo is because normally he had a match that was scheduled that he never made it to, and neither did his opponent. And normally we won't talk about that. But the reason why they didn't make it was because of El Gordo attacking the investor in the back. Man, that was one thought out plan. All that just to say, yes, I will take your offer to wrestle in WrestleMania for the World Championship. A lot could be said about that. I mean, long-term storytelling, folks. I mean, come on. I mean, even I was fooled. I mean, granted, I started having my doubts at the end, but hey, Dirk gently tried to tell me. He said it couldn't be. He said it couldn't be Fat Thomas. It was the voice. It was the voice that made me start doubting it. Now, in our first match, we had Martel, the Carpenter, taking on the badass Eddie Vendetti. And Eddie Vendetti, well, it's no surprise. Martel lost, folks. I mean, come on. Has he really done anything significant since he beat the Darkstalker? Has he? I mean, he had that unsanctioned title that one time. But who even remembers that? Well, I guess technically we do. But since then, I mean, really, come on. What? I think he got a title here, didn't he? TV title or something? That's how insignificant it was. Now, in other action, we had the man nobody likes to get pinned by, Kwani Fist, taking on the Super Champion King. And I don't know, as of late, the Super Champion King has been seeming kind of lackluster lately. I mean, calls himself the Super Champion King, but I mean, is he really? I mean, really? 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 Is he a Super Champion King? But he is the guy that got pinned by Kwani Fist. That was a pretty good match by Kwani. He needed that win. His self-esteem was starting to go down the drain. Now, in our next match, it was South Bronx Savage taking on the Wraith. And once again, the Wraith picked up a loss. But he did manage to put up a good fight before he lost. I mean, the guy's a fighter. He doesn't even care about titles. He just likes to fight. I don't even think he cares if he loses. He should, though. You know, if he'd win more matches and climb up the ranks, he'd probably stay out of a lot of those triple threat matches. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying. Now, and what could be deemed match of the night? It was Captain Mexico, our Intercontinental Champion, taking on David the Beast Smith, who wants us to now call him David Smith. Yeah. Was he going to dress in like sweater vest and a long sleeve shirt, polo shirt or something now? With some khakis? Some docksiders with pennies in them? Some penny loafers. Then when he gets mad, he's going to rip it open and like, I'm the beast. I don't know. But he picked up a win over the Intercontinental Champion. And then tried to stake his claim to be put into the World Championship match at WrestleMania. Which that got turned down very quickly. Yeah, he kept pushing the actual Booker's button, just like, put me in the match, put me in the match, put me in the match. I'm not touching you. I'm not in the Booker. He put him in a match. It has the word World Championship on there, but it ain't the one he wants. That's a fucking match. Our next match saw Lady Assassin taking on Shark Boy, who picked up a win over Lady Assassin. Wow. Wow. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's his turning point. Or maybe he realizes that build up some momentum going into the next week in the reset. Matt Blakely took on Lippy Karen and defeated Lippy Karen, Luscious Lucius, Flabalicious, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Yeah. You know, I haven't seen nothing that bad since the guy who thought he was the Emperor and tried to execute Order 66. Once again, though, Luscious Lucius loses. And in the process of all that drama, we no longer have a WPA Women's International Championship. Oh, we no longer have 5 people in the league who left under protest. Creative differences. And refused to play along. My hat's off to you. And all of this during Women's History Month. Way to go, WPA. As long as you can say what you want to say, though, right? We'll see. Now, our next match featured Crusher LB and someone who might as well be married to Luscious Lucius, because They had the same idea of just saying what the hell they want to say. The Master Sean Puff, and he was able to pick up a win over Crusher LB, which really isn't saying much. If you had wanted to put a good win, you should have probably won the other weeks. Yeah. Now, if you really wanted a good win, you should have probably beat Jermaine Walker when you had the chance to beat him for the World Championship one-on-one. Yeah, he really thinks he's going to beat him in a multi-man match now? Yeah, that ain't happening. I think him and Luscious Lucius should hang out and they could just sit there and insult each other all day. See which one cracks first. That's that right there. If we do a promo battle, because I don't know who the fuck's going to do one now. Put them two together. That should be entertaining. Since they have no filter anyway. In our last match, it was Jermaine Walker taking on the Messiah. And I take it back. I said Captain Mexico and David Smith was probably match of the night. Jermaine versus the Messiah. That was probably match of the night. And Jermaine just squeaked out a win. And like I said, folks, for his efforts of winning, he got jumped after the match, was just something you do not see that often. Luckily, security helped him out, because Sinister sure didn't show up nowhere. That's crazy. I mean, I can't blame Johnny Rocco. I mean, popcorn is pretty good around the arena. Some good ass shit. Plus, he left like mid-match because he knew what was going to happen anyway. I mean, he knew Jermaine was going to win, not get attacked. And he's like, he's seen this show before. He even bought Melvin some popcorn. What the fuck's up with that? Melvin doesn't even like Johnny Rock. Now, we did have some number one contender matches. The first one was for the Triple Threat Championship, and match one saw Luna taking on the Emperor 2K Nominum and Donnie Boy. And Luna was able to pin Donnie Boy. Oh, actually, no, she pinned the Emperor. I don't know, they both look alike. Just dorky looking. And she punched her ticket. Yeah, well, she's been acting kind of weird lately, too. It was kind of a vicious beating, too. I actually felt sorry for the Emperor after that match. Now, match 2 saw Shepherd Bane taking on Wolf Knight. Shona did show up, but then when the bell rang, decided, I'm done. And she left. So it became a one-on-one match. Won by Wolf Knight. So he will now be going on to the championship match at WrestleMania for the Triple Threat Championship. Along with Luna Aqua Regia. Rigatoni. You know, people change their names so much I can't keep track of how they pronounce them. I'm just going to call her Luna for now. I'll get it, Flip. I'll get it. Now, the next number one contender match was to determine who would go on to face the television champ, and it was Johnny Rocco taking on the First Lady. And the First Lady was able to defeat Johnny Rocco. Actually, got the Rose Garden on him. And he didn't tap. She wouldn't let go, though. He almost started smiling, though. He just passed out. Let's screw it. Yep. But she won via submission. Johnny said later on, I asked him, like, why didn't he tap out? He's like, you should call that move 7 minutes in heaven or something. Such a pervert. Now, and in WPA Trios Championship, it was number one contender for the World Championship, Red Death, who earned his shot at the World Champ, along with Hakeo and Money, taking on Killagoons, Casper, Brasso, and Money, MF, and Mike. And the Trios champions was able to successfully defend their championship when Red Death pinned Money, MF, and Mike. yeah, it was a pretty good match. I'm not gonna lie. You know, you put the Killer Goons in a match together, they tend to put on good matches. Now, in a special match, because our tag team champs departed WPA, the titles were vacated, which kind of messed up the match. It was supposed to be a tag team championship match this week, so the WPA booker, so they didn't have to do too much shuffling, just made the contenders face each other in a friendly battle. You know, just to be. So Cats and Corey took on the Street Fight King, and Cats and Corey was able to defeat his partner. And of course, they shook hands afterwards. I hope them two. There's no animosity there between them two, because WrestleMania's coming up, and well, they're gonna have a tag team title match, regardless. Now, in our Triple Threat Championship, Lycon Umbras took on Starlin J and Polish Power. And Lycon retained his title when he pinned Starlin J, who immediately afterwards left the ring along with the Blueprint and left the arena. Didn't even want to speak. I guess she just wanted to fulfill her contractual obligation. I always have trouble saying that word. So if you keep it count, folks, Starlin J, the Blueprint, Siren, our Women's International Champion, Tezzeret, and Shona Campbell have all departed WPA. 4 of them, from what happened last week, one of them was just itching to leave, and last week was probably the last straw. This month was just the last straw. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more people that were ready to leave too. Pretty soon it's going to be just, Lippy Karen and Jermaine and the Darkstalker. Maybe the Beast would be there too. Sean Puff will probably stay around. They could just circle jerk and rotate the title between each other. You're only going to need one title. I mean, I have 4 or 3 titles, 5 people. Now, speaking of the television championship, Johnathan took on the sponsored athlete Jayla Masters and the Idol Steve Sampson, and Jayla Masters was able to pick up the win and become the TV champ. Now, that's not what Jay wanted. Jay wants the world champ, so he vacated his TV title. And folks, I have it on good authority. There will be a battle royal to determine the new TV champion. Now I know you may be saying, wait, hold the phone. Wait. How is it going to be a battle royal when the First Lady earned a title shot? Don't worry, folks. It's all taken care of. She still has her title shot coming. But they weren't going to put her in a battle royal to get it. No. She'll go one-on-one with whoever wins that. Answer your question? Okay. Now, in our last match, it was a Fat Thomas Barbecue Buffet match for the WPA US Championship. And it was Fat Thomas challenging JP DiMaggio, the Darkstalker, Big Mel, Draven, the Sledgehammer, and Texas Hate You. And, that match could have went of 3 different ways, folks. 4 if you count Drunk Beast walking around trying to figure out what the hell was going on or who to pin. But the match was finished once Fat Thomas was able to knock the Darkstalker out the way and pick up the pin on Texas Hate You. Yeah, that's how you do. You never know with the matches what's going to happen. 1 minute, you hit your finisher on somebody. Next minute, somebody's throwing your ass out the ring and picking up the pin. doing it dirty. You did the dirty work for him, which I'm pretty sure Darkstalker's used to doing that. So, hey, but that's it, folks. As we prepare for WrestleMania week, there have been some matches announced. We have the WPA Tag Team Championship on the line to determine new tag team champions, and it'll be the Street Fight King and Cats and Corey taking on the First Lady Alexa Leslie and JP DiMaggio. And then a controversial move, folks. And I've talked to some people. They're trying to figure out. They don't know if they just do them in a match. What the fuck ever. But you have Money and Luscious Lucius in that match. I'm sorry, if I'm Money, I am not trusting Lippy Karen there. No. Last person I'm going to trust is Flabberlicious. After what he did, win the titles, and then you don't really show up and fight hard to retain them. Could have still been champs. They could have been the ones. Well, I don't know. Maybe I think Siren and Tesla probably would have beat them, but still, come on. We have yet to hear what Money thinks of this matchup. I mean, like I said, me personally, I wouldn't trust Flapalicious. Now, in the Triple Threat Championship match, it will be Lycan Umbras versus Luna versus Wolf Knight. Once again, like I said, there will be a battle roll to determine who will be the TV champ and then go on to face the First Lady. The participants are to be determined. And for the United States Championship, Fat Thomas actually wanted to go run it back with a couple of the participants in his buffet match. The Booker had other ideas. But he did get one. The Darkstalker. And they added the badass Eddie Vendetti, who made a claim for that U.S. title match. And I guess the Booker said, yeah, why not? So it will be Fat Thomas versus the badass Eddie Vendetti versus the Darkstalker in a triple threat match to determine the United States champion and our WPA Intercontinental Championship after waiting months and since Royal Rumble, folks. Draven the Sledgehammer will finally get his shot at the Intercontinental Championship and he takes on the champion Captain Mexico. And in a match, it can only be deemed a challenge for the champion in a fatal five-way, folks. Booker got with our WPA champ to determine who he thought was the best candidates. Like I said, Red Death had already punched his ticket. So it will be Jermaine Walker versus Red Death versus James Altrez, who the champion himself offered a free pass to join the match, versus the Master Sean Puff versus the Essential Jay LeMasters, and that's about freaking time. I mean, we wanted it one-on-one, but hey, we'll take it where we can. You know, back in the day, we would say Jay LeMasters is not good in a multi-man match, but hey, I don't know now. Jay LeMasters has been kind of coming into his own. What's that? You're picking Jay LeMasters to win. Okay, Flip. We'll see. No, I'm not betting you. No, this is one I'm not betting on, folks. On one hand, you got Red Death. I mean, there's only 3 people I see that have a chance in hell. And I'm not going to say which 3. But you know 2 of them. More matches to come whenever they get around to announcing them. Oh, did you see that the Beast is threatening to take everybody out in the Pro Championship match if he's not put in? I don't know what's in those Beast Wisers he's drinking. But yeah. Oh, and then flip. Here's the other thing. Whoever has, I guess you could say, the most impressive. If we were keeping score, it'd be top score. Money in the Bank is on the line too, folks. Who's going to win Money in the Bank? This ought to be interesting. I tell you what. Let's see. Last time was what? Texas Hates You won. Cashed in finally and failed. I don't even remember who the first one was. Who was the first Money in the Bank? Does anybody remember? I have to get with admin to find that out. I know who the first Royal Rumble was. Winner was here in WPA. Yeah. He makes sure he lets me know every time he sees me. But that's all we have, folks. Philip is back. And he has his pick of the week. Me personally, I would have picked the Messiah for a pick of the week. I mean, that was a hell of a performance. I hope they give him a good match for WrestleMania. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, hell, it can't be no worse than that tag team match, right? You know, that's what they should have had. That's what they should have had tagged together. They should have put Lippy Karen and the Messiah in a tag team match, and had them go for the tag titles. Oh, he's a big supporter. He's a big supporter of Lippy Karen. Oh yeah. Hell, I'll give you one even better. Let's put Lippy Karen, the Messiah, and Master Sean Puff in a trios match and try to let them go for the trios championship. See how that works out. I'd be too busy trying to figure out who can say the most offensive shit. That's all. As always, folks, make sure you hug your loved ones. Pick up the phone and call that friend. Sometimes they might need to hear your voice or see your words. Check on them. Make sure they're okay. And folks, please, don't drink and drive. Not worth it. I'm Johnathan T. Rokford, folks. What? No. You know, I don't see how. Why? Because I called him flabby? I don't know how somebody who could say the most atrocious shit can get offended by me saying flabbilicious. I mean, you are what you eat. Yeah, I know he's a piece of shit. LWPA, once again, is me, Philip Alexander Kennington IV. And you have the honor and the privilege of hearing my voice once again as I divulge to you my pick of the week. And my pick this week, although rougher on the edges, did put on an impressive feat against our Intercontinental Champion. I speak there of Mr. David Smith, who sometimes goes by the Beast. Multi-time champion in his own right. And often a silly twat. He's not afraid to try to call his shot, although most times very unsuccessful, but it does not deter the individual. He's always in contention for some type of title and always in consideration to be mocked. I mean, honestly, I do, however, wish he would get his teeth fixed. But then again, I guess it's his personality. But like I said, he fared well against a very formidable opponent in Captain Mexico, who is no slouch himself, and a very hard competitor. And the Beast was able to outlast him and pick up a win. Now, what that gets him for WrestleMania week, that remains to be seen. But I'm pretty sure he will get an opportunity to vie for some type of championship here in WPA. Speaking of twats, you know what? Never mind. It's not worth my time. WrestleMania week should be a hard one, and I will wait till WrestleMania week is over to not only divulge my pick of the week, but my top 10, because I will be watching with great interest on who wins Money in the Bank. There's no doubt they probably will make the top of my list for the month of March. Until then, always be aware that I am watching you. So good day. I said